Hello, welcome to our new episode. This is our fifth episode, so check also the previous ones. Something the students think about the most before coming to study abroad is the potential challenges they may face when moving abroad. Our ambassadors, Sara, Isidora, and Natalija, will tell us their experiences with these challenges of moving to Slovenia. So let's start. What are your tips and tricks for quick preparation for moving abroad?
Opinion, you must check all websites which are useful for studying that country you will go to study. For example, websites of university, website of your faculty, their social media, of course, and that is good for you to know more information about education, necessary documentation, and other similar things. A good way is to ask maybe some person who is already student here, and you can hear, of course, their experiences, and it will be very helpful for you and for your integration and adaptation in new society.
Finding an accommodation can be a very exhausting process. How did you manage this situation?
I started searching for accommodation already in June. I was aware that the demand for apartments and rooms in Ljubljana is very big, so I started on time. Thanks to useful links that I found on the University of Ljubljana's website, I managed to find a room and reserve it for the next academic year. Once you start searching, try to be persistent and try not to give up early, because if you start on time, there is enough time for everything.
Most students are looking for private accommodation, so what must they pay attention to when choosing an accommodation?
It's important to look for accommodation on validated websites and check all information in advance. The process is usually long and exhausting, but you need to be persistent. When searching for accommodation, take into account the surrounding of your accommodation, but also how far is it from your faculty, from the city center, or some important buildings or institutions that you need. However, don't forget that Ljubljana is not that big, and that you can get by bus everywhere you need in around 30 minutes.
What about finances? How much money is realistic to set aside for a student's life in Ljubljana?
When it comes to finances in Slovenia, I have to say that I was quite surprised that the prices are lower than in some other same standard countries where I visited, and it is definitely similar to my home country in Serbia, with a slight difference. But when it comes to student life, you can find even cheaper apartments than in Belgrade or Sarajevo or any other ex-Yugoslavia cities where students are present. So I have to say that on average, the dormitory which I pay is around depends on the months and the laundry and additional costs, but it is from 150 to 160 euros. So on the monthly basis, when given the food and everything, it can come up to 400 euros or 500 euros. So I have to highlight that I expected even more. I have expected expensive prices, but Slovenia surprised me with how much is cost-friendly for students.
Students in Ljubljana have a lot of subsidies. This improves the financial situation of young people a lot. Depending on the price of accommodation, monthly budget can vary. If you choose private accommodation, you will have to set aside a larger amount of money than if you choose dormitory. However, the approximate budget for young people in Ljubljana would be between 500 and 800 euros per month. This includes paying rent, bills, and everyday expenses of life.
In your opinion, what is the greatest challenge when moving abroad and how students can overcome them?
For me, it was going home, because I didn't go home often when I wanted because of obligations on faculty. But that is normal situation. Of course, you can go when you finish your obligations, exams, and all important things. And of course, especially at the beginning, the big problem was language. but of course you will start to learn language. You will prepare exams. You will communicate with your friends, which is so important. And of course, you will have enough time to study Slovene language, and you will learn Slovene language faster than.
In my opinion, one of the biggest challenges when living abroad is actually living alone. This involves cleaning, cooking, washing clothes, while also studying, socializing, and trying to have fun. This is an amazing mix when you are a young person, but only if you are organized and if you try to manage everything. However, it all makes sense if you are happy at the place you are living at, and also if you are living your own life. Once you get to the point where you make decisions on your own, you will realize that every decision you make on your own is the best one.
So I have to say that was some of the few things that came to me as when I first time came to Ljubljana. That took me by surprise. That I thought that I was prepared for those stuff, but it turns out that you are on your own. So if the things are going to be done, they're going to be done if you are going to do it. So those are one of the first lessons that I've learned in Ljubljana, and I have to say that studying abroad truly empowers you in a way to challenge your skills and your abilities to do stuff alone, and when there are no of your family and friends to help you buy and to do things for you. So those are the stuff that I have to say that you are going to encounter studying abroad. And the second thing that I have to say that it's a great way to challenge your friendships, your relationships, how they are going to endure that distance and that time. So the second thing that you are going to find studying abroad is that your home country and your hometown and friends who stayed by your side and that hug when you come back is the most beautiful things that you can experience in life after your time of studying abroad.
Thank you. See you in the next video.